All right, what about number 4 from 48? Now, these are parabolas, and to be honest, I think these are the most difficult conic to draw or to calculate because there's so many different things that's going to happen in this chapter. But what I want to make sure you get is that we like our form to be either y squared equals or x squared equals. Now, again, there's probably going to be some stuff added to that, but that's what we want. So your job is to get all the y's on one side or all the x's. Depends on what's being squared. So I see that y is squared. So what I want to do is I want to get all the y's on one side. So 2y squared plus 24y equals, and then I'll leave the other stuff over there, negative x plus 69. That I'll leave over to the right. Now, I want to complete the square. And so the first thing I will do is pull out this negative 2 and be left with y squared minus 12y equals negative x plus 69. And now the fun part, right? Completing the square. Do you remember how to do that? Half the middle number, which is negative 6, squared, which is 36. I'm going to add 36 to this side, but notice that negative 2 is multiplying that 36. So usually I would add 36 to the other side, but I didn't really add 36. I added a negative 72. So now I got to add a negative 72 or subtract 72 from this side to keep the equation balanced or equal. All right, then it looks like this, negative 2. Now the negative 6 is important because that's what this would become, y minus 6 squared equals negative x, and then that looks like minus 3. And now I can kind of clean this up again. So I want to pull a negative out of the right side. So the thing is, you want your y to be able to tell you where the vertex is, but you also want your x to tell you that information too. And so I can't have negative x. So I have negative 2 y minus 6 squared, and then I'm going to have to pull out a negative 1 and have x plus 3. Now it's nice because I know where the vertex is. And I'm going to move the 2 over too because that's going to help me find the p-value. So there you go. There's what the equation would look like, right? Now I can get all the information like the vertex is at negative 3, 6. So I can go to negative 3, 6 and put a big old dot for the vertex, right? And then the directrix, well, that's 4p right there. So if 4p is equal to a half, then p is equal to an eighth. So I'm going to have to go an eighth of a unit in the x direction to get the focus. So if I go one, that's not going to be much, right? If I go 1/8 of a unit in the x direction, that's going to be right here is the focus. So go back an eighth of a unit, that's going to be your directrix. And then remember that this is how wide your parabola is. We call this the focal width. So at the focus, the parabola is a half a unit wide. So only half a unit, that means it's up a quarter and down a quarter because that's the way it's opening, right? I know it's opening to the right away from the directrix. Oops, wrong spot. I was doing it at the vertex. And so there is my sketch of my parabola. That's it. So I don't know what they needed. They probably needed the vertex, which we got. Then they probably wanted the focus, the focus was negative 3. What did I add? An eighth plus an eighth, comma 6. That's the nasty part. You could probably clean that up. The directrix was x equals, and then it would start with negative 3 because that's where it was, but then we had to subtract an eighth. So negative 3 and an eighth would probably be a good answer, right? Or get it to be one thing. All right, stay happy.